Welcome back to the Catnip Podcast. My name is Grace, and today is Monday, May 6th, I believe. Is the day the 6th? It's either the 6th. Yeah, it's the 6th. This is a podcast about knitting, books, baking, and cats, but most importantly knitting because that is what I love to do all day, every day, whenever I get the opportunity. If you'd like to follow me on any of my social medias, I have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Ravelry. If you like to, I'm most active on Instagram, so if you'd like to go follow me over on there, that will be wonderful. I will leave all the information to that, which will be in the show notes, and if you're on my blog to get there, I said that out of order. All the information, social media, also the stuff that I'll be talking about in this episode will be in the show notes, which are on my blog. If you are on my blog, they're already there, and if you're on YouTube, the link to my blog will be down below. So, easy peasy. In addition to that, I also work at a yarn store. It's called The Modern Skein. It's in Montgomery, Texas, and I will leave all of the information, social media, website, online store, all that good stuff in the show notes as well, so you can go and check it out. If you're local, we would love to see you. And if you're not local, you can go and check out our online store. And then if you happen to come to Texas at any point, we would love to see you again. So that is all the normal stuff. I feel very fancy with my hair today, as you do, because I do have a special announcement, and I do have a special event thing that is going to be happening, but we will get into that when we're in the episode, so the intro doesn't go on super long. I also have a lot of knitting to show you guys, and I'm very proud of myself. I feel like I've gotten a lot done. It's great. So, if you like to go grab something tasty to drink, I today have water because, yay, being hydrated, because I did not one but two very hard workouts today, so remaining hydrated is very important to me right now. So we'll have to do some iced coffee later, probably during the editing process. That'll be my pick-me-up later in the afternoon. I'm a little bit ahead of schedule today, and I'm really loving it. So water it is right now for me, but you are more than welcome to go grab something that is a little bit more tasty than water. The water is very good. Or something to snack upon, or an animal to snuggle, or a craft to work on, or laundry to fold, because we all have laundry. And you can come back and join me for some crafty chat and a very exciting announcement. So, fun times. So everyone, I have been podcasting for 3-ish years, I think. It's a very vague timeline, but I'm pretty sure it's 3 years. And just this past week, I would love to announce to you guys that I have reached 1,000 subscribers, which is insane, and I never thought would happen, and just totally blows my mind. And though I don't always get even close to 1,000 views a week on each episode, I still get more than I ever thought I would, and I still, I get more likes than I thought I would. I get more comments than I thought I would. I'm still surprised that people like to spend time watching me just talk to a camera about my knitting. So thank you everyone so much for being one of those 1,000 subscribers. It means so much to me. This has been a very long and plodding along journey. This doesn't mean anything necessarily, but it's a really big milestone in my mind, because I haven't necessarily been working towards gaining more subscribers by any means, but it's still really exciting, and I'm very proud of what I've done with the podcast, and I'm proud of you guys for just coming back, and I'm very grateful for everyone who is a subscriber. So thank you. I would not be where I am today without you. So I appreciate every single one of you, all your comments and everything like that. It means the world to me. So because of that, I want to celebrate, hence the fun hair. But also because this is fun and I wanted to try something new, but also it's fun to celebrate. And I would like to do a giveaway. So I will be giving away one skein of hedgehog fibers. They're skinny singles. This is in the, it has potluck written on it, but it's the colorway that was created for the modern skein, our 1-year anniversary. So there's a lot of navies and grays, but also with speckles of orange and pink and black. It's beautiful. So this is what I want to give to you guys, and you have some fun questions to answer. So in order to enter, like always, or like I did last time with the books, it is imperative, if you would like to be entered to win this beautiful skein of yarn, if you comment down below on this video in particular, if you comment down below and you answer the question, where is your favorite place to knit? And in addition to that, because that is a very fun question, but also just kind of a general question, here's a random question that I feel like we'll get a lot of one answer, but I don't know, so let's ask the question. And do you prefer knitting or do you prefer purling? Or I have a notification. Is your knitting tighter? Is your purling tighter? Do you, I don't know. Do you prefer one over the other? Do you dislike one over the other? Let me know. So you have to answer both those questions. Where do you like to knit, and do you prefer knitting over purling or purling over knitting, to be answered to win this skein of yarn. And that must be down below on this YouTube video. Only one comment per person. You can comment more, but if it is an extra comment, I won't count that in the entry. So yes, this is very fun. I will go ahead and answer these questions now, and then we can go into a little bit more details in just a moment if I've forgotten anything. My favorite place to knit, I don't know. I was thinking about this the other day. Also, side note, can we give a round of applause to my husband, Sam? A round of applause for coming up with this question. Because last night I was like, I still haven't come up with the prompt and I really don't know what to do and I really want to do something fun. Sam, do you have any ideas? And he was like, what's someone's favorite place to knit? Like, that sounds like a good question. And I was like, oh, brilliant. And then he came up with the whole knitting purling thing. So we can thank him for these wonderful questions and also for his wonderful support of this podcast over the years. But mainly the questions and also his support. Anyway, now you know where the questions came from. Where I really like to knit the most, I don't know. It varies depending on my mood. I have very fond memories of my study abroad in France and knitting in the various gardens in the places near the places that I was living. I have very, very fond memories of that. I have did that quite a lot. And I listened to audiobooks during that. I listened to music. I listened to the people around me, which was good because it helped me learn the language better. So I really, sounds very like posh, but I like knitting in France. It's not to say that I don't like knitting where I live, but I have very happy memories of me knitting in France. Another time, or another place that I really like to knit is, I haven't actually done this recently because the storms that we've had have been pretty bad, but I like knitting out on our balcony and like watch a storm roll in, or if it happens to be raining and not raining too hard, or it's not like raining enough so there's a lot of flooding, which has been happening a lot recently. I really enjoy that because I'll either be like reading and knitting, or I'll be listening to music or an audiobook or something and just watching the rain come in, and I love that. It's like the most calming thing just to watch the rain come in. Watch it take its time, or move fast, whatever it's doing. It's just wonderful. If you have the chance to do that, I would highly recommend it. It's really just like such a calming, peaceful experience. So that's another favorite place of mine. And then of course we can't go wrong with like airports or coffee shops, because that's just yay people watching. And of course work, because I work at a yarn store and I knit there all the time. You are not limited to one answer. If you have more than one answer, still keep it in the same comment. Clearly I have more than one, and I'm sure I could get into details about other ones and stuff like that, but yeah. Where do you like to knit the most? What place do you feel most comfortable to knit, or just kind of like you're in the zone, you're gonna get a lot done, you're really gonna enjoy your knitting time, stuff like that. In regards to knitting or purling, I definitely have a text message, I apologize. In regards to knitting or purling, I have very mixed feelings. Because, so I have noticed this, and I do not know if this is true for everybody, but for me, my garter stitch, which is just knitting every row, is slower than my stockinette stitch, which is where I knit one row and purl one row, which is a tongue twister. You can say that 10 times fast. I don't know why that is. Like, I don't know. I had to stop and think if that was like, there were any times where I thought that was faster. Like, I think it's just because on that off row in garter stitch where you're knitting into the technically purl stitches or the wrong stitches, that's slower for me. And I use the word slower very loosely. It's not actually that much slower, but it's, for me, it's like definitely slower than regular stockinette. And I don't know why that is, which I think is really weird. Is anybody else like that way? Am I the only weird one? I don't know. If I am, that's fine, but I don't know. So yeah, I don't know. I really like knitting and purling. I would prefer, if I was to do just one, I would pick knitting, but I also like the combination of the two. I like a good twisted rib. But that is getting into more details of just the question of knitting or purling. If I had to pick one, I would pick knitting. But I do love purling. But knitting goes faster for sure. What is your answer? Please let me know in the comments so you can be entered to win this beautiful skein of yarn and help me celebrate the fact that I do have 1,000 subscribers, and that is just a milestone I thought I never would reach. So again, thank you so much to each and every one of you who continue to come back and watch. If you're subscribed, when you leave comments and likes, I know I'm not the best at replying to comments, but I still appreciate every single one of them. That is something that I need to get better at. But thank you for being a viewer. I really appreciate it. So yes, please enter. I don't know how long this is going to be open. Let's decide, and I'm going to put it here. So here, right now, in the post-editing, this is when it's going to be closed, so you must get your entries in by this time. This time, everyone. It will be closed, and then the following episode, after this time, I will make the drawing or whatever. So, very exciting. Again, thank you so much for you, being a viewer, being a subscriber. I really appreciate it. We've come a long way, and it's time to celebrate by giving out some yarn. So, can't wait to read your answers. I'm very excited. So everyone, we have a lot of like languishing whips. We have test knitting. We have like an actual completed finished object. No, there's no buttons. No, the ends are not woven in. But it's blocked and all the knitting is done, so I'm counting it. Several languishing whips. I said that already. Oops, sorry. This is not in its bag. See, we're running into this problem again. I really need to come up with a better system because I put everything in this one bag and then it's in layers, and without a doubt, the first thing that I want to talk about is at the very bottom. Why do I do this? People, tell me, why do I do this? Because you know the inner workings of my podcasting brain. Anyway, people, I did in fact finish 2 languishing whips for the month of April. It was quite a triumphant moment. No, I haven't found buttons for this item yet. But I did finish my Lady Mademoiselle Dandelion, and it is beautiful. And I'm very proud of this. I think it is one of... This is going to sound like a very prideful thing, but I'm not saying it in a prideful way. This is one of the most beautiful things that I've knit, and I firmly believe that. I did a good job with this. And I'm proud of it. I'm proud of the work that I put into it. This was knit on a size 3. That takes time and dedication. And thankfully, because I have a lid on my drink, I'm not getting in at my ends in anything this week, so another good reason to drink more water. See? Makes sense. Also, yay, being hydrated. So yes, this is Lady Mademoiselle Dandelion by Along avec Anna. She has stunning patterns that I want to knit all of them, and I want to knit them all now, but I do not have the time, nor the yarn. Such is life. Such is a knitter's tragedy. I'm being very overly dramatic about this, but if I could have a knitting wardrobe, or just a wardrobe that was like this, I think I would be very, very happy. Throw in a few Caitlin Hunter pieces and like some Andrea Mowry and Isabel Kramer, and I would be set for life. And some others, of course, but you know what I mean. So yes, the ends have not been woven in. The buttons have not been gotten. That's not to say that we didn't try to get buttons, everyone. We did try. I know that my button options for us in Tomball or in Houston is Joann's, Michael's, or Hobby Lobby. There is a Michael's that is close to us, and I have had good experience with buttons in the Michael's in College Station, which is where I lived for college, because I went to A&M. Fun fact. Not relevant to the story. And so I was like, oh, should be fine. I think that's the closest one to us, if I'm not mistaken. I believe there actually is a Joann's that's closer, but there we needed to do other stuff, and the Michael's was close. So we went in, and I was like, okay, we're on a mission to find these buttons. I remembered what size we needed. I got Sam to remember the size that we needed because I knew I'd probably forget, which is 10 to 12 millimeter. And so we were on a mission. We got distracted by the spring and summer decor because it was 50% off, but we didn't end up getting anything, which was very proud of us. Proud of me, more so. Didn't get distracted by the plainer stuff because I always get distracted by that. Again, proud of me. Sam had no problem ignoring that. And so I was wandering around and I was like, where the poop are the buttons? I don't know where the buttons are. So then I got really concerned that they didn't even have buttons. And then I found them. And it was literally like this thin of a section that was maybe like not even from the top of the rack to the floor. And which is fine, you know what, they have a lot of other stuff. I'm not complaining. I know there's other places to get buttons, and I know I can get them online. But I had my heart set on finishing this sweater, and I was just so excited to get these buttons, and I was excited to look at the options, and I was like, I'm gonna get it done! And then they had no buttons. And I know I say that weird, but whatever. So, we don't have buttons yet. I don't know if I have any in my button collection. I feel like they are probably too big and probably not enough, but I don't know. I haven't actually checked, so I should probably do that, and they're probably not the ones that I was looking for. Because I really do think like a mother of pearl type button, or like a pearly white button would be really pretty. And that's not, these are wooden, which would be cute, but not my first choice. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll eventually get there. I know that there's a Joann's, and I know that they have to have buttons, and I know they have to have a relatively decent selection of buttons, as all Joann's do. At least the ones that I've been in. So I just don't know when that's gonna happen. It will happen soon. It will happen soon. Because I really want to wear this thing. Because it's so cold here. It is so cold. I'm being sarcastic. It's really very warm. Very warm indeed. But I did get all the knitting done. It did get done and blocked before the end of April. So I am counting it for my Languishing Whips goal for 2019. I did get 2 done. I got my sockhead cowl done, which thank you for everyone's nice comments on that. Amy's yarn is truly amazing. I would highly recommend you go checking out her yarn. So I did get that done, and I did get this done. No, I haven't worn it yet. But the knitting, all the knitting is done. So it's getting counted. But anyway, I think we've fully established that I got this done. And I'm counting it as done. I don't know how many times I need to say that, but you get the idea. Anyway, this is my finished object for one of them for the month of April. And now we're in May. And I've worked on 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, just 3. Just 3? Yeah, 3. 2 of them are pretty big. 3 Languishing Whips. We'll see if I get them done. I've made a lot of progress on all 3 of them, believe it or not. So, yay. I could see myself getting at least 2 of them done. I'm not sure which 2, but we'll figure that out. So, we have the finished object. I also have yarn acquisitions to show you. Let's not, I did get yarn, but let's, shh. It's okay. It's okay. I have kind of a general plan. It's fine. We'll talk about it later, okay? We'll talk about it later in the episode. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. So, test knits, everyone. I'm almost done. I'm literally so close to being done. I think I have, let's see, 15, 21. I don't even know what I'm trying to do the math. I don't even know what math I'm trying to do. So I have rows 15 to 21 left to do in my second lace section of my sleeve. Second being the keyword. This is my second sleeve. I'm almost done with this test knit. Ta-da! Da-da-da-da-da-da! Da-da-da-da! Da-da-da-da! Showing up much more blue on camera. I don't know how it will turn out on your computer screen or my computer screen, but it's actually more of like a greeny blue. The color is called Petrol. I don't know why I said that. By BC Garn, and that's their lino base. So this is 100% linen, and yes, it has been hard on my hands. And no, I probably won't be knitting a 100% linen item for a while. I say that, I have no idea, because I said that I wasn't going to knit sweaters for a really long time, and I then started planning like 3 more sweaters, so who knows? I make all these promises and I don't keep them, so just like, why am I even trying? Anyway, so I have, okay, so 15 to 21, that's 6 more rows, and then an I-cord cast off. Everyone, this is how much yarn I have left. We're playing more Yarn Chicken. Fun times. I think I can do it. I'm looking at it now and now becoming more concerned. I think it'll be fine. It's a very, like, the circumference of the sleeve is very small, stitches wise. It's like in the end it will actually be kind of like a flare just based off of the knitting and the yarn and the I-cord bind off. Excuse me. This is not very much yarn. And you might be saying, it's fine, you just get more, because you got it at your work, you just get more. You don't have any more. I got the last 4 skeins. So, yes. And this is due on Monday. Not today, but next Monday. So I know I'm going to get it done. It's just a matter of stressing out about this little bit of yarn because who doesn't love a good game of yarn chicken? Not me, that's for sure. I know there are ways I could have avoided this, and I know that they involved things like weighing my sweater and weighing my yarn and doing all that jazz, but that is more work than I was intending to put in, and so the answer is I was lazy about it and didn't want to put in the effort. So I'm paying for it. This is all my fault. Paying for it by having to stress out about yarn chicken. It'll be fine, everyone. It'll be fine. There's actually quite a lot that got unraveled, so this is encouraging. Okay, we're winding it up. 6 more rows on an I-cord bind off. I realize the I-cord bind off does take a lot. If it takes too much, I can take out the bind off on the other sleeve and just do a regular one. It'll be fine. This is a test knit for Amba O'Brien. I didn't say that before, but I'm saying it now because that's important. This pattern, I'm not sure when exactly it is officially coming out. Our deadline, like I said, is this coming Monday on the 13th. I will definitely have it done, and I would really like to wear it to work. I would really like to wear it to work. I would like to block it, and so this linen can finally not be stiff anymore. And it will be a beautiful joy to wear. I'm very excited about this. I really like, again, I said this last week, and I know I've said this quite a lot at work, to the wonderful community of ladies that we have come there. I love the idea of knitting with linen. I love the before, and I love the after. I just really don't like the in-between, and that's totally a personal preference, and if you love knitting with linen, I applaud you. I think that is absolutely wonderful, and you should totally take advantage of that. I, on the other hand, find it kind of irritating. I say that having made the very willing choice to make this sweater out of 100% linen, and again, we go back to I like the before, and I like the after. The in-between is a little iffy. And that's fair, I think. That seems fair. So, yes. I don't know. It's a really great sweater pattern, though. Let's change the subject of linen because there's only so much we can say about the linen fiber itself. This is a really great pattern. It is a top-down raglan cardigan with lace, very easy lace on the bottom. All the edges are I-cords, so it creates a very wonderful edge. The lace is written and charted, so if you prefer one over the other, you have options. There are a lot of sizes as well, which is really great. And I've seen people who have used cotton, people who have used linen, obviously, and then also people who have used like a single, like a hedgehog type thing, Madelinetosh, that type stuff. And it looks beautiful. Like, this is a cardigan that you can't really do incorrectly. Like, all yarn looks pretty good with this. So I would highly recommend it. I'm sorry that I'm not sure when exactly it's being published, but I'll let you guys know when that is officially out. Yay. It's very exciting. So this is getting done. We're playing yarn chicken, everybody. I'm not happy about it, but it's my own fault. So it's not a whole lot I can do about it at this point. So, fun times. Hopefully. Well, for sure, because it needs to get done. Next week, I will have a finished object, and that will be very exciting. So I have another test going on. This is a more relaxed test just because of the deadline, which is very exciting. The deadline is in July. It's living in my happy bag because this is super fun, and I'm loving working on it. So this is a test knit that I'm greatly enjoying. It's called the Moon Drip Swancho by Tristan, who is the daughter of the mother and daughter, Christy and Tristan, of the podcast The Two Girls in the Yarn Cafe. They both have their own yarn companies. Christy has the Yarn Cafe Creations, has Dragon Horde Creation, or Dragon Horde Yarn. So this is what I've been working on, and last week I showed you guys that I had changed up my yarn selection, and I've made quite a bit of progress. Let's just say I've knit on this quite a lot, and I'm very happy with it. I'm very happy with my yarn choices. They make me very happy. Yarn choices, I have Knit Picks palette for 2 of my colors, and then I have Deep Stash Jitterbug in a colorway that I don't know the name of, but it's very like spacey colors, which I think works well because it's called Moon Drip, and that makes me think of moons and space and stuff. So this is what I have so far. Yes. So yeah, it is a top-down colorwork yoke, and then it becomes a swancho with some fun added details. I'm not quite done with the colorwork yet. There will be some more, which I'm very excited about. I'm getting ready to go into the second, like the next really big colorwork section. I have a ton of stitches on my needles right now, and I have my 30-inch cord, which I know it doesn't look quite that big, but like it's big, and things are really squishy, and I'm like, but I can really just fix that problem by getting a longer cord, because that's how interchangeable needles work. Brilliant, I know. Such a groundbreaking idea. Get a longer cord. Oh my goodness. Yay. So yes, I'm very excited about this. This is, like I said, it's a test knit. The deadline for us is in July, so this is not like, this will not be done next week. But I am making good progress with the color work. I hope to have the color work done by next week. That would be really awesome, so I could just divide for the sleeves and then knit on my merry way until the cows come home, because that's what a swancho is. There's a lot of flowy stockinette, which I love that. It's like the best knitting and reading time, and it's like, I want to do all this reading, and now I'm going to have this really amazing project to do with all this just plain knitting. I'm so excited. So I'm just very excited, like, I know I just said I'm very excited twice, back to back, but I'm very excited. I'm very excited about getting the sleeves divided for, so one, I can divide and just move forward, and so I have fewer stitches to knit upon, but also get to a point where I'm knitting in the round for a long time, and I can read and do all that stuff. It'll be great. I love it. I'm very excited to wear it. I think also my colors are very fall autumnal, and I really love how it's turning out. So I knew like the balls of yarn next to each other were not necessarily like bad. Well, they weren't bad, otherwise I wouldn't have picked them, but they weren't like, they didn't grab me immediately. They were, like I think I said last week, they were colors that I wouldn't have gone for immediately, but putting them together, I have this gorgeousness, and it's like, yay! I'm so glad it worked out. This is so awesome. So yes, this is what I've been working on, one of the main things. Got a lot done. Very excited. Fun times are ahead. Continue to make progress with this. Very excited. So next we have some Languishing Whips. Languishing Whips 2019. We have 3 of them in the works. Let's start with this one, because I think this is probably the closest to being done. So this is living in my Loops London bag. And this is my sorbet cardigan. Ta-da! Which is crazy to say that it is a languishing whip, because I feel like we just cast this on, but it's been more than 6 months. Definitely more than 6 months. But I'm gonna get it done. Everyone, look at that sleeve. Because I think when I picked this up last week, I was here. Like I had just started the pink stripe. And now I'm, excuse me, now I'm on the last stripe before the ribbing. Which is very exciting. I feel like I've done a good job. And the cat has come out from his nap. Oh, it's time for some food. He looks very sleepy. So yes, this is my sorbet cardigan by Petite. No, not Petite Knitter. She did No Frills, which I'm going to show you later. What is her name? Millie. I don't have the pattern with me. Do I have the pattern? I do. I'm so organized. Not really. Not always. But in this instance, I happen to be very organized. So I'm going to show you her name. I'm not going to show you the pattern because it is a paid-for pattern on her website. I don't believe that this pattern is actually on Ravelry, which is kind of unfortunate. But you can get the PDF in English on her website. And I think she has other language options if that is what you need. So that is that. I'll link this in the show notes if you... I'll definitely do that, but if you prefer a clickable link than reading something on a screen like I just showed you, that is totally fine. So yes, I'm making good progress with this. It is very fuzzy, as you can imagine. It's 2 strands of mohair, there's fuzz everywhere. It is a very lightweight and squishy cardigan, and I'm very excited about that because I feel like because it is so lightweight, I could potentially get away with wearing it in the summer. That would be a very risky thing to do. My throat, goodness gracious. Be a very risky thing to do just because it is very hot and mohair or fuzz just doesn't mix with humidity, which we have a lot of. So we'll see, but it is very lightweight and I do love it. I'm using a various combination of mohairs from various places. So I have the second sleeve, I have the ribbing, the second sleeve, and then the 2 button bands on the front, and then I'll be done. This is more good reading knitting. Reading, yeah, reading knitting. Which order does that make most sense in? So that is very exciting. I am happy about the progress that I've made. I feel like like I said last week, the adrenaline rush of finishing something and also knowing that I'm going to be able to finish something soon or that I'm really close to finishing something is just really wonderful, and it really is motivating and very encouraging. So if you're in a slump, if you're in a knitting slump or a crafty slump or whatever, maybe if you have the ability to finish something, then that might spark that knitting or crafting mojo back into gear, because it really can help you kickstart some whatever non-creativity juices that have not been flowing. I feel like there were too many negatives in that. Hopefully you know what I mean. Finishing helps you be inspired to do more. Let's just say that. I think that's the main point. So that's very exciting. I am looking forward to finishing this. I'm also looking forward to wearing this whenever that might be. Hopefully my mom and I can take pictures of us wearing ours together. She has one like it. Instead of a purple stripe, she has a dark blue stripe, and hers is beautiful. It's very inspirational. Every time I see her in it, it just makes me want to finish mine. So hopefully that will happen soon and we can wear ours together. And there'll be pictures and you'll all be happy. And I'll have another languishing whip for May. How wonderful. Wonderful. Along the line of sweaters. What? Along the line of sweaters. There we go. I have brought out my No Frills. This one is by Petite Knitter, or by Petite Knits. I actually forget which one it is. And this is out of La Bien-Aimée, her pop grunge color on her merino singles. Just absolutely beautiful. This is my second skein. And here we have, this is the back because this is the side that has the short rows on it. Let's tuck in these ends because nobody wants to see those because it's distracting. Ta-da! I'm very excited about this. So as you can see, I've divided for the sleeves. I don't remember where I was last time I showed this to you, but I might have divided for the sleeves, I don't know. And then I have knit a good amount. So side note, one of the projects, the last project that I'm going to show you, actually, back up. There will be, well no, let's back up even more. This past Saturday, Sam and I went to go see the new Avengers movie, Endgame, which was absolutely wonderful. I'm not spoiling anything, also because I don't know enough about all of that. I mean, I know what happened and I could spoil it, but I'm not going to. But I don't know enough about it in general, like the details, to really give a lot of information. It was a really, really wonderful movie. Like, I would highly, highly recommend going and watching it. It is 3 hours, but it's worth it. So I brought not one, but 2 knitting projects to work on, because one of the ones that I'm going to show you later, I was at a point where I could have gotten past a point where it was just straight knitting, and so I needed to bring something that I knew I could fall back on if I did happen to get that much done. I did not, but I did have a backup. This was my backup. So I didn't actually knit on this, but I did have knit at least ½ inch since Saturday. So that's good. I'm loving it. I just think it's beautiful. I'm so excited, especially with the space buns and some high-waisted jeans. So the next item that I worked on during Endgame, or this new Avengers movie, is an old project I cast on when we were living in Dallas. And this is using yarn that I dyed, which is pretty cool. So I'm really excited about how it's turning out. I'm very happy with it. I did transfer it to Better Needles. Oh, it's caught on my hair thing. I did transfer it to Better Needles because that really, for sure, makes a difference. This is called, it's either the Spotlight Shawl or just Spotlight by Janina Callio. I've done some of hers before. So it's just it's an asymmetrical, you start with the plain with eyelet sections, and then you have a striped, and then it will end with a gray lace section. I have almost the entire stripe section done, which is awesome. So yes, here are my colors. I have a gray, and then I have this blue with the specks of the purple on it. They're both on the Stellina base, so they do have sparkle, because why not? I'm very happy with it. So, fun times. I think I have like maybe 2 stripes left before I can do the lace, which is really wonderful because I've used up almost all of the blue, which is great. I really appreciate when shawl patterns like that give you the ability and are written or designed in a way to help you maximize your yarn as much as it can, or you use as much of it as you can in the pattern. So that's really cool. It's living in my Keep on Knitting Kitten bag from Stephen and Penelope, which I love. So this was my movie theater knitting. I'm very proud of my progress. I striped in the dark. I did my increases when I needed to. It was great. My yarns only got slightly tangled, and then I untangled them, and then they got tangled again. As it happens. It's just what happens. But I got a lot done in the 3 hours that the movie happened, and it was great. So, would highly recommend the movie, and this is also a really great shawl pattern. So, hopefully I will have this done soon, so I can have another languishing whip for May. So yay, fun times. In other news, very quickly, because this has been a long episode, which I appreciate you sitting through my ramblings and rantings and languishing whips. So I do have some yarn acquisitions this month in May. At the Modern Skein, we'll be having a trunk show from 6 and 7 Fibers, who creates some beautiful, beautiful yarn. We have several of her bases in multiple colorways, but we also have a lot of her mini skein sets, both in like 4 or 5 skein mini skeins, and then also a big set. And so we have a great range of prices, so that works very well. But I usually I try and get something from the trunk shows that we have, and so this just really struck my fancy, and then I paired them together with something else, the hedgehog that we have normally, and I came up with this. Everyone, is this just not beautiful? So they're singles. This is her card. This is the Arctic color on her barley base, which is 100% superwash merino, single ply fingering. There's 100 yards. It is stunning, like beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then this is Stone Hedgehog Skinny Singles. And together, I think they make a beautifully subtle, muted combination. Definitely a shawl. I think it's beautiful. And I know they're not really showing up very well on the camera, but hopefully they'll show up on my computer, in your computer, or wherever you're watching this. But yeah, they are just stunning and beautiful, and I couldn't resist. And we have this trunk show in the store until the 25th of May. So we don't have it for long, and I really wanted to get my hands on it before it went away or it sold out. And this was one of the colors that really spoke to me when I was unpacking it. So yarn acquisitions, don't necessarily have a particular plan in mind, but I know I have options, and I'm just very excited about these 2 new additions to my stash. So that is all that I have for you guys this week. There was a lot of knitting that went on, a lot of really good progress, and hopefully more continued progress and all that jazz will continue to be had. That was an odd sentence. That I'm just very productive with my knitting this coming week. Let's just say that. Again, as a reminder, you can enter to win this wonderful skein of yarn because I have 1,000 subscribers, and that is wonderful and incredible, and I couldn't have done it without you guys. So if you want to comment down below on this video, 1 comment per person before this time entered here, you need to answer the question, where is your favorite place to knit? And also the question, do you prefer knitting or purling? Answering both those questions will get you entered to win this piece of deliciousness. It's not a piece, it's a skein, but you know what I mean. And that is very exciting. Thank you again so much for being part of the Cat Knit podcast and viewing and watching and subscribing. It means so much, and I want to give back to you guys, and so it is time to celebrate with some yarn and happiness and all that jazz. So fun times. If you like to follow me on any of my social medias, I have Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Ravelry. I'm most active on Instagram, so if you'd like to go follow me over on there, that would be wonderful, but all the others work just as well. In addition to that, all of the things that I have talked about hopefully will be in the show notes. If I miss something, please let me know and I will change that immediately. But that will be on my blog, so if you are on YouTube, the link to my blog will be down below. Or if you're on my blog, everything will be there already. In addition to that, will be all the store information and just general goodness, so you can go and check out the Modern Skein online, that would be wonderful. I hope you had a wonderful weekend, and I hope you continue to have a wonderful week. If you have crafty plans, I hope that they are successful, whether you are starting something new or starting back up something old or anything in between, working on something that has been languishing, or something that you've been working on for a very long time that just can't seem to get done, because I have several of those and I'm working on them. Hopefully by next week I will have at least one finish item. I'm not making any promises, but who knows? You never know. You never know. Yes. Crafty plans, hope that they are successful. All that jazz. What else is there to say? I'm going to try very hard to not cast on new items and focus on the old ones, and then maybe reward myself with casting on something new. But we'll see how that goes. I don't know how that will go, but you never know. We'll see next week. Anyway, so yeah, don't forget to enter in the giveaway. It's very important. Answer the questions. I'd love to hear your answers, because I feel like where you like to knit is it's not a personal question, but I feel like it says a lot about somebody, like what you really like to have around you, or the environment that you like to be in while you knit. It could be crazy, it could be quiet, it could be kind of in between, and there's no right answer, there's no wrong answer. It's however you like to knit, and I am looking forward to reading looking forward to reading everybody's answers. I apologize. My camera's actually plugged in and I just made a hand gesture that pulled the cord. I'm sorry. I should probably go now. So, with that, I think I have said everything that I need to say. Thank you again so much for 1,000 subscribers. It means the world to me. Please enter the giveaway. Answer the questions. If you don't, that's totally fine, but it's fun, so why not? On this YouTube video, leave a comment below. And with that, I will see you guys next week. Bye.